Hi, boys and girls. Now, in science today, we are doing something very, very cool. It is sink or float. We've done this before, we've talked about it, but that's part of pre-K. We go back and we talk about things again and again and again. That's what pre-K is. So we make sure we get it up there and we remember and we learn it. So, in science, we make predictions. That means we kind of make a guess and we think, I think this is going to happen, and that's a prediction. So we're going to make some predictions about whether we think something is going to sink or float. And sink would be it goes all the way down to the bottom, and float would mean it would stay on top. Now, the reason why, I'm going to be saying this a few times, the reason why something, I'm going to make sure I read it off my book here. The reason why something will sink is because it weighs more than the water it pushes away. Sounds kind of complicated, doesn't it? And if it floats, it weighs less than the water it pushes away. What do you think about this piece of ice? Ice has air inside of it, so that's a tricky part. The air is lighter than water, so it floats. Ice floats. Yeah. Very amazing. So when you've seen maybe or you've heard of these really, really huge icebergs that are up by Alaska and the North Pole and the South Pole, there's huge ice in the water and they're heavy, heavy, but they don't sink. They float because they have air in them. Yeah, it's very amazing. What do you think about this little car? Is it going to sink or float? Does it have air in it? No. Is it going to weigh more than the water it pushes away? What do you think? Let's see if your prediction is true or not. It sunk. It weighs more than the water it pushed away. Very cool. What about this pen? What do you think? What do you think? What do you predict? It's going to sink, go to the bottom, or float? Is it going to weigh more than the, what does it say? Weigh more than the water it pushes away? It's a pretty small pen. I don't know. Let's see. I think it's going to sink. I think it weighs more. I was wrong. It weighs less than the water it pushes away. Oh, wow. Now what about this bottle cap to my water bottle? What do you predict? Is it going to sink or float? Is it going to weigh less than the water that it would push away? I think it's going to float. Ah, I was right that time. Okay. Let's see. Here's a crayon. What do you predict? Do you think it's going to sink or float? It's just a little crayon. It's not that heavy. I think it's going to float. Let's see. I was wrong. It weighs more than the water it pushes away. Oh my goodness. Wow. Very interesting. Okay. Now what about this apple? What do you think? Is it going to sink or float? I think it's going to sink. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it floats. It does float. I didn't think that was going to happen. Wow. So it weighs less than the water it's pushing away. Wow, I didn't think that was going to happen. How cool is that? Okay, and we know that ice does what? Ice floats because it has air in it. Yeah. Well, I have had a wonderful time doing an experiment with you and learning and talking about what is heavier, because the heavier things are on the bottom, and what is lighter, the lighter things are on the top. What sinks, what floats. I have had a wonderful time with you. I hope that you can do an experiment yourself, and you can make a guess, a prediction of what you think is going to happen before you weigh something, before you put it in the water and see if it sinks or floats. Okay, go have fun, guys. Bye.